to the show. Chris, lovely to have you back with us. And I want to ask you about the Clippers. They have 7 wins when trailing in a series.
Rachel.
Go ahead.
Hey, Rachel, can we tell Chris to back up from the camera a little bit?
That's what you interrupted Rachel to get that. Okay, carry on, Rachel. Carry the hell on.
Carry on, indeed. Look, that is the single most postseason wins in NBA history when a team is in that position. So, Chris, fill in the blank for me, and I think that you look lovely in your camera space. I'm just going to put that out there.
Thank you.
The Clippers can take Game 6 tonight if blank.
Well, I mean, I think it's all about Paul George. And, I would like to give Paul George his roses while they can smell them. He's been taking a beating. Every time he laces them up, for whatever reason, people like to make him the pincushion of that team. But he's always showed poise, regardless of how tough the situation got. And he's always had an answer back and just came out and played basketball. So if he continues just to lead this team, I think defensively, of course, as a team, you want to make sure you're getting stops. You want to make sure that you're not giving Devin Booker and Chris Paul open looks all night and, letting Aiden function down low. But I think offensively, if Paul George and Reggie Jackson lead the punch, I think they'll definitely have a shot, especially on their home court tonight.
Chris, you were the lightning rod for a while in Miami. What is that like to deal with, and how did you learn to shut it out? Because Paul seems to have learned to shut it out.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about playing basketball. And I had to understand that every great player goes through it. You have to prove yourself night in and night out. And so I just continued to work on my craft. I didn't really worry about things I couldn't control and people talking. That stuff gets old fast. And usually it gets old from, someone who's not successful in what they're doing, making you mad as you're trying to win a championship or something like that. So, I just put my aggression, put my faith, put everything into my work. And, at the end of the day, it's basketball. You go out there and do what you're born to do. And I think Paul George has done a magnificent job of really just showing how you can be mentally strong and keep succeeding.
Well, again, here we go again down this same roller coaster, okay? At the end of the day, this is what you signed up for. You signed up for, you're on the biggest platform. It comes with getting paid. It comes with fortune and the fame. Sometimes it's good fame, sometimes it's bad fame, okay? Again, Paul George gave himself a nickname, Playoff P. He put himself under a microscope. Everyone has been criticized throughout their career. Good, great, average, role players, whatever the case may be. This is what you signed up for. Who cares? The great Kevin Garnett, you know what he used to tell me? The same way you used to run and want to go to Sports Center or go to ESPN or go to the newspaper articles and read things about yourself when you do something good, do the same thing when you do something bad. Use that energy to fuel yourself to prove the haters wrong or prove the doubters wrong. Again, Paul George is balling. He's doing his thing, but at the end of the day, he put himself under this microscope.
The question is, the Clippers
No,
win
I'm not
Game
answering.
6.
I answered the question.
What was your answer? I don't think any of the 4 people in this panel have.
What's your answer? Richard, what's your answer?
Oh, you would like my answer? Okay.
Yes.
And I agree, if Paul George continues to lead in the manner that he has, and it's been so impressive, and I know we talk about that. We tried to give Chris Middleton his flowers 2 games ago, and he showed up and give us 6 for 17 last game and lose to a team without Trae Young.
This is just
it's bothering me.
Every conversation.
No, because then we can give a reference to Paul George and his level of consistency that he has done. They lose their best player, and he just keeps winning and continues to win and continues these numbers. He's in historic categories when you look at scoring 20 plus in the first 17 games in the postseason. It's Kobe, it's Bron, it's MJ that did it like 4 times. So he's in elite category because he's an elite player. So that's why I believe that the Clippers will win if he continues playing at the same level that he's been playing all postseason.
I just don't know how much longer he can hold up. We talked about this on the show yesterday, that he has played 735 playoff minutes, and that is 130 more than any other player. That's just a crazy disparity. And those are hard-earned minutes, right? Especially once Kawhi got off the floor, the way other teams are defending him, the physical beating that he's taking out there. So They are playing every other day. So far, most games he is able to be up to the challenge. A couple games he has looked tired there, and he will have to not be tired tonight because it is another elimination game for the LA Clippers. I do want to flip to the Suns side, though, and look at some interesting splits from Devin Booker in this series. He's played a similar amount of minutes alongside Payne and Chris Paul, just with Chris missing, of course, those first two games of the Western Conference Finals. Now, alongside Payne, Booker's scoring per 36 minutes and shooting percentages, they're higher across the board. Richard, is this just a matter of, hey, Chris Paul's shot isn't quite falling right now? How do you explain the Devin Booker splits?
Well, look, we're not going to get carried away. I think the responsibility of Chris Paul is very different, and I think Devin Booker's responsibilities completely change when there's Chris Paul. Chris Paul does a very good job of spreading the offense to everyone. That's why he's considered the point guard of this generation. So, yeah, maybe Booker's numbers might drop a little bit, but other people's numbers elevate. So I'm not going to turn this into a weird conversation. Is he better with Payne than Chris Paul? That's just insanity. Perk will do that.
Well, I'm not going to do that, and you're wrong. I'm going to say it's because of Patrick Beverly. And Patrick Beverly has been frustrating Devin Booker, and he has to find a way to shake it off. Also, Ty Lue has done a great job of actually making Devin Booker defend. So he doesn't have all that extra energy on the offensive end. Something like what Ty Lue did against Steph Curry. He searched him out and made him defend. That's why Devin Booker has been in foul trouble a lot lately. That's why Devin Booker hasn't been able to get a rhythm, because Ty Lue is making him defend alongside Patrick Beverly screaming first team all defense so loud that everyone in the world could hear him. So that's my answer to the question, Rachel. Richard thought it was something else, but obviously he don't know me that well.
By choice.
Well, I think, in my opinion, this is kind of where data can get lost. This is when it's too much data.
Right.
Look, as a player, you understand as a scorer, when you have your point guard out in CP and he's not distributing, you have to step up. Mm-hmm. You have to make sure that you're carrying that load for whichever unit is out there. And I'm sure they've worked up a rhythm all season to where Booker knows to where he can be aggressive. But look, at the end of the day, they're up 3-2. They've got another opportunity to close them out, and that's what it's about. The Clippers are going to have to come with it. They're going to have a lot of energy on their home court. But in my opinion, I think if the Suns play the basketball they're capable of, they can get out of there with a win tonight.
You just have to look at Chris Paul's track record, too. I know that he has some notable nights in the playoffs where things didn't go his way, but man, his track record, there's much more on the side of having some fantastic nights in the playoffs. So much more. And I just have to think he is due for one of those nights in this series. We will find out. Chris, right quick before we go to break, I did want to get to our Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that the Lakers are finalizing a deal with your old coach, David Fizdale, to become an assistant coach with the Lakers. He was the lead assistant there in your Miami days. So what does Fizz bring to a coaching bench?
I mean, he's going to bring, of course, that coach who loves to get into the film, knows a lot about the game. He brings a presence that's great for a locker room as well, because he loves nothing more than basketball. And, him being an LA guy, coming back home to be able to coach for the Lakers, I mean, that's a dream come true, I'm sure. And really, he's filling a void left by Jason Kidd, him moving on to a head coaching spot. I'm sure that they will need another presence to fill in that bench. And I think, for Fizdale, he's one of the best guys out there, as you guys know.
Yes.
We talk all the time, and I mean, he's ready, he's eager, he's excited. And I know he's going to do a fantastic job with vocal staff out there in LA.
I love it. And yes, congratulations to Fizz. We'll miss you here on the Jump set, but we're gonna love to watch you work. All right, coming up in 2 minutes, Chris Bosh is going to react to Giannis's injury. He didn't get a chance with us at the top of the show, so just keep it locked at the Jump.